Coming to you live from the wastelands of the internet, I have come once again to bring you the news of the day, the news of the week. Well, the news that I am interested in. Pretty much that's it. I am the Nomad. Welcome everybody. A little bit of overdriving there. I apologize at the beginning as I'm trying to redo some settings here. It's going to be an interesting day. We got a lot of little things to get through. Let's get started, shall we? Ukraine says it hit a key fuel pipeline near Moscow that supplies Russian forces. Ukrainian forces hit an important fuel pipeline in Moscow region that supplies the Russian army, Ukraine's military intelligence said Saturday, as Russia kept up a sustained campaign of massive drone and missile attacks on Ukraine's energy infrastructure. The operation carried out late Friday, according to a statement on the Telegram messaging channel. The agency, which is known by the acronym HUR, or HUR, described it as a serious blow to Russia's military logistics. HUR said its forces struck the Kotazoy pipeline, which I'm not trying to butcher the name. I just don't know how to pronounce it really. All right, spans 400 kilometers and supplies the Russian army with gasoline, diesel, and jet fuel from refineries in Razan, Nizhny, Novgorod, and Moscow. The operation, which targeted infrastructure near the Ramsky district, destroyed all three fuel lines, HUR said. The pipeline was capable of transporting up to 1 million tons of jet fuel, or 3 million tons, of jet fuel, 2.8 million tons of diesel, 1.6 million tons of gasoline annually. Okay, good hit, possible thing. We also have this story here. Excuse me, people. I got a little bit of phlegm in my throat here. The dark side of Zelensky's rule. Opposition lawmakers and civil society activists. Well, welcome. How are you?
I'm alive. There's nobody watching, but I'm alive.
Well, that's okay. I do appreciate you coming in, Batman. Or excuse me, FB. My apologies, sir. And how are you doing this lovely day?
Fucking shite.
Well, you should be more or less, happy. It's after Halloween. Did you have a good Halloween?
I had a quiet one.
You had a quiet Halloween, did you?
Yep.
Okay. Well,
Jensen can't get out now, so there's no monsters to hunt.
He's too busy eating. What are you talking about?
Yeah, apparently he likes to have the neighbors over for dinner.
Yeah. He threw a party and nobody left. Okay.
Yeah, he's the only person I know who gate crashes parties in an SUV.
Good point. The point is well taken, sir. You should be able to see the story we're getting ready to go into.
Oh, God.
It's not a horrible story. I mean, come on. Could be worse.
How do I know? It might be a horrible story. It is. It's a horrible story.
No, it's not. Okay, let's get into this. As
It's
Russia
the gay stripper.
as Russia begins its full-scale invasion of Ukraine nearly 4 years ago, Vladimir Kurdatsky, then the head of Russia's or excuse me, Ukraine's state-owned national power company Erganguro Orengo
Gangrel.
I UK Engro
Gangrene.
was scrambling to keep the
You,
lights on. Somehow he succeeded and continued to do so every year, earning the respect of energy executives worldwide by ensuring the country was able to withstand Russian missile and drone strikes on its power grid and avoid catastrophic blackouts. Until he was abruptly forced to resign in 2024, that is. His dismissal was described by many in the energy industry and also prompted alarm in Brussels. Go ahead, you were going to say something?
I'll just notice how it seems like every man from the Ukraine, their first name is a variation on Vladimir.
It is. All right. He says he told Politico that he was a victim of the relentless centralization of authority that the Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and his powerful head of office, Andriy Yermak, all right, often pursue. He said he feared
Earmark,
corrupt
right?
individuals would end up taking over the state-owned company. Um, I don't see this as an issue. Okay,
Not
is it?
affecting me. I don't care.
Well, the thing is
No, that's how I look at it. It's not affecting me. I don't care.
well, okay, I get that part. I get that, but the thing is what made people think that that Zelensky isn't corrupt? Okay, what made people think that?
He's corrupt.
Right? Well, that's my point. The problem that I have with the way they're going about this.
He's a gay male stripper.
I don't care what he is. All right, aside from the fact that he is a corrupt politician. All right, he's been corrupt.
Pro-
He was corrupted early on. All right,
He's
you
probably a
cannot.
member of he's probably a member of the Ukrainian gay mafia.
Let's be honest. Would we be in the Ukraine right now, even involved in it, if it wasn't for the corruption of Zelensky? The answer is no.
Uh, yes, actually, we would, because it would be the corruption of our own leaders.
Well, I agree that the corruption of our own leaders were a part of that. All right, but we could have prevented we could have prevented some of our corrupt leaders from taking over. For example, Biden could have been thrown to the wolves if Zelensky wasn't
Yeah, but you know
corrupt.
what would happen
No,
if
no,
you?
no, 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 no.
Hold on.
It would have made. It would have changed things. It would have changed things dramatically.
No, it's just if you throw Biden to the wolves, they're just going to throw him back.
Well, there's not a lot of meat on those bones, I grant you, but that's not my point. My point is that we ended up with Biden because Zelensky was dishonest. Everybody knows that the only reason the United States is in the Ukraine or dealing with the Ukraine right now is because because of Biden's corruption and his family dealings. All right,
Yeah,
back
because Biden was looking to source some more drugs for his son.
well that and money straight to his pocket, straight to his bank account,
Mm.
and that's what he got
And
through
also
various
free
shell
rides to
companies.
Epstein Island.
You know, so
Mm.
it is what it is. But Zelensky decided to go down that road, and you can try and say, well, he was doing what was best for the Ukraine. Really?
No, he was doing
Because
what was best for Zelensky.
well, he did what he may have thought of what was best, but now he's in a war that he can't win. Other people can win it for him, but the Ukrainians can't win this war.
Well, that's why he joined in, because he thought he'd be able to rely on foreign aid and other people fighting the war for him. And besides, he thought it was a great fucking great career move.
Yeah. Let's go up to and take a look at live map here. All right, this is a live map of where the fighting is basically taking place. You can see obviously a lot of drone strikes. Um, there is one positive thing here,
Everything's
which is
striking these days. I mean, general strikes, drone strikes, hospital strikes.
the what you have right here is a an operation carried out by helicopters. All right, into deep into here, and that's a positive sign. All right, although generally it's not. Generally, what you're seeing is not positive, but it's a positive sign for the Ukrainians in that it shows that the air defense of the Russians is not very effective. If you can put in a UH-60, all right, into this area, it means that the troops were not prepared with to repel this in any way. It also could be, an interesting thing. But
Well,
as you can,
with what,
but go ahead.
what you hear about the finances of the Russian army, the troops might not have been there because they're not getting paid.
It's a possibility. No, but what you can see here is there's a serious push to take the city here now, right? For weeks they were sitting outside here, and now they've moved in, and you can see that there's a pincher movement going on, and they're going to try and close this whole thing off. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't see I don't see the ability, all right, of the Ukrainians to stop it at this point in time. Okay, and this is my issue with this has been when they start talking about things like Tomahawk cruise missiles. Okay,
You know how to get all these Ukrainian supporters to stop supporting the Ukraine? Get some government department like the NSA or something to spread it around that Israel is secretly helping the Ukrainians. Support for the Ukraine would plummet.
there you go, free Palestine. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, yeah. Hey, Greta Thunberg would be protesting the Ukrainians. Hopefully, she
Uh,
gets shot.
good. Oh, good
I
lord.
didn't say that
Good
in
lord.
Minecraft.
No.
Well, she looks like she escaped from Minecraft anyway.
She does. I'm not going to deny that. She's not a.
Salt Minecraft.
She's someone who's she's someone who's looking for a life. Okay, she's trying
I
to
think she's looking for
find
a Lego.
well,
She's looking for a leg over. Let's be honest.
she's no, she's trying to figure out, all right, what how she can survive or what she can do to be in her mind a relevant person helping the world.
She doesn't want to help the world. She wants to help Greta Thunberg.
Well, yeah, I don't disagree with that, but it's the same thing. So, but no, she's flipping useless. Just like this ceasefire.
Why?
I've prayed
Why
that
is
the
there a
ceasefire will work, but it's
why is there a Victorian British soldier standing on that concrete?
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't think that's a British soldier. That looks like just a Palestinian in a red shirt. All
He's
right.
got a Victorian clothing on.
Remain
He's got a Victorian soldier's tunic and a sash.
remains handed over to Israel, not those of a Gaza hostage. Israeli media report. The partial remains, excuse me, of three deceased individuals handed over to Israel by Hamas
Now,
in Gaza overnight were not
now ask me if I'm surprised.
right. Were not those of any of the hostages held in the Palestinian Authority. Israeli media reported on
Do you know what's
Saturday.
happened? They've stuffed up. They've handed them the remains of hostages that the Israelis didn't actually realise that they had.
Um, they're not as okay. The problem that
They're probably not even
is
Israelis.
the problem that Hamas is having is they've killed so many people they don't know who's who.
Yeah, I
They
mean, as soon as they got that ceasefire, yeah, they started murdering their own people.
look I wouldn't say started. They continued murdering their own people.
Well, they increased the murdering of their own people, shall we
Yes,
say?
they did do that,
They upscaled it.
and then of course they've also sit up there and started shooting back at these Israeli checkpoints, and they're getting
Of
pounded
course,
for
I have.
it again. And we're never going to have peace in this region until the mentality of the Palestinians has changed. And this is what nobody
You know,
wants to admit to.
people saying, and people who admit that that Hamas is a terrorist organization are still saying that the actual Palestinians are not guilty. They're innocent people. Just want to get up. They're the ones who put them in power every time.
Yes.
If you get rid of Hamas, yeah, they'll put in another terrorist organization.
Exactly. Just like this one.
I mean, you've got Palestinians living in Israel, actually in Israel, holding Israeli passports,
Yep.
who don't want anything to do with the Palestinians who are living in Gaza or the West Bank.
Gee, I wonder why. Hezbollah is rearming, putting the ceasefire with Lebanon at risk.
You mean Lebanon?
Lebanon, yes. Lebanese militant group Hezbollah is rebuilding its armaments and battered ranks, defying the terms of the ceasefire agreement and raising the prospect of a renewed conflict with Israel, according to people familiar with Israeli and Arab intelligence. Intelligence shows the Iranian-backed Hezbollah is restocking rockets, anti-tank missiles, and artillery. The people said some of
Hold on,
those
isn't that a
weapons
bit of
are
an
coming
oxymoron?
via 2 seaports and weakened but still functioning smuggling operations.
Isn't that a bit of an oxymoron?
What?
Arab intelligence.
No, okay. Do not.
It's like saying speed snail.
To say that they don't have intelligence services is incorrect. Okay, you have to accept the
Yeah,
fact.
they have other people's intelligence services.
No, their intelligence services are very Gestapo-like. All right, but they're effective.
But they all wear those bloody tea towels on their head so you can spot them. They don't make very good spies,
You're
apart from in
wrong.
London.
You're wrong. They
I
walk
mean,
around looking like everybody else, man. That's the problem.
in London, yes, in London
You know, I'm just pointing this
and
out, man.
Birmingham.
you you seem a bit upset about that. All right, let's get to this next story.
Yeah,
This
I'm
is
not upset.
absolutely
Resigned.
this is absolutely hilarious to me. U.S. National Intelligence Director says former American strategy of regime change is over.
Did you say fashion intelligence?
No, I said
You did, didn't you?
former.
Oh, national.
Yes.
It sounds like you said fashion intelligence.
The U.S. National Intelligence Director told officials Friday in the Middle East that America's former strategy of regime change or nation building had ended under President Donald Trump. Tulsi Gabbard's comments
Of course
come
not.
before Mandama, Mandama, Manama, how do you say that? Manama? Manama.
Manama
Manama
or
dialogue.
Manama.
I don't know how to.
Ah, that's it. Manama.
Manama. Okay.
Yes, and his surname is his surname is Mana.
An annual
Mana.
security summit in Bahrain.
Manama dialogue.
Enough.
Manama dialogue.
Put on by the International Institute for Security Studies and underlines the remarks Trump offered on a trip earlier this year in the Middle East. All right, Tulsi.
And it's Bahrain, not Bahrain.
Whatever. The Tulsi, the idea of regime change being
does it look
not being part of U.S. foreign policy is absolutely ridiculous, especially considering the posturing we are doing right now with Venezuela.
Why does it look like she's that picture? It looks like she's describing what she did in her last pottery class.
I don't know. It's a good question. I mean, that's
but either that, or she's describing her ideal black man.
Down. Look,
it's got to be this thick.
Nah, come on. The
I've got to use both hands.
Tulsi Gabbard has to understand that regime change, the idea of regime change. All right. While people complain about it from the United States perspective, they have no problem engaging it in themselves across the board. Okay, all these nations sit up there and push for a regime change in one area or another. Okay, um, and for her to say that our strategy of regime change is over, nonsense. Okay, we are still pushing to try and get a regime change in Iran. We're not going to succeed without
Iran.
doing other things, but we're not going to. That hasn't changed at all. Okay, and there are areas where we're going to be successful and areas that we're not. From the Guardian, dun, 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 thousands protest in Rio favela. All right, after the deadliest ever police raid. Okay, demonstrators demand inquiry after operation on Tuesday, in which at least 121 people were killed.
Yeah, they wanted more killed.
All right, I don't think so. Thousands of protesters have gathered in the Rio favela that this week suffered the deadliest police operation in Brazilian history to demand an inquiry into the killing and an end to security policies that have turned working class neighborhoods into war zones. All right, who wrote this junk? Tom
Lefty.
Phillips. Tom Phillips. All right. Tom, let's be perfectly frank.
There aren't any working class districts in Brazil.
Well, there are working class districts in Brazil, but it's not a favela. Let's be perfectly frank here. These are areas under total control by gangs.
Yeah.
All right, and these gangs are
Most of
involved in some of the
most of
most
Brazil is.
And these favelas are havens of some of the absolute most atrocious
I've actually
crimes.
heard. The elections in Brazil and places like that.
Mm-hmm.
You go to your polling station and there'll be some guy there. Hey, who are you voting for? And you say, oh, I'm voting for the such and such. No, you're voting for this guy. What if I don't want to? Then I follow you home and I kill your family.
Yeah, that's probably true. I have no doubt that that's been happening.
And rape your dog.
But you know,
It's a sexual abuse of the dog that swings it. You see.
these people are in those favelas, right? You can say, oh, they're poor and they're just slums and they're everything else. What's going on in there is every kind of worst thing you could want, including sex trafficking children. All right, full on slavery. Anything you think that's bad and evil in our society is going on in these favelas, and nobody gives a shit. Nobody gives a shit.
So Sadiq Khan's London then.
Well, yeah, it's horrible. Those things are just
Sadiq Khan's London.
It's a matter of time before something they complain about 120 people killed in a police raid, and I'm not saying that that's a great thing, right? Where they're trying to crack down on a specific gang, and the gang sit up there and fought back. That's exactly why 121 people were killed. Okay,
Yeah.
but it's a
how many of
war
them were
zone.
police?
It's a war.
I wonder how many of them were police.
It's a good question actually, and I don't know the answer to that. But these places, it's a matter of time before somebody does something that doesn't kill hundreds, that kills literally tens of thousands. It's a matter of time.
Somebody will build a nuke and set it off in Rio.
I don't think it'll be a nuke, but I do poison gas is not out of the question.
Let's face it, with the average information you get online, anybody can build a nuke.
Yeah, if you can get the materials. All right.
Hey, there's a kid in America did it with with smoke alarms.
No, he did not. He built
No, he
a
built
reactor.
a reactor.
Okay, but he did not build a nuke.
Yes. Yes, but from a reactor you can build a nuke.
You've got to get a hold
Not
of the
be a
materials.
very good nuke.
You got to get a hold of the materials. You got to be able to.
All you need.
Okay.
All you need is the fissionable material and the explosives to start the chain reaction.
See, getting fissionable material is very, very difficult.
Not if you built a reactor.
Even when you build a reactor, it's very difficult because you still got to separate the material. Okay, it's don't tell me don't get me wrong. It's doable. Okay, if you build a reactor, it is doable. But
And
and
if you want
even
plutonium, you just have to. Right, if you want plutonium, all you have to do is get in touch with their Lebanese terrorists and tell them you're going to build them a bomb.
no, because they could build their own bombs if they had that much fissionable material.
No, they'll come to you. They'll give you the stuff. But you've got to keep an eye out for them turning up in a Volkswagen bus.
We're not going back to the future. Let's get back to the next story now. Trapped and
I was waiting for
terrified.
you to fucking.
Warnings as Sudanese militia seize Darfur city. Sudanese Army Chief General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan on Monday acknowledged the loss of his force's last stronghold in Darfur, the city of El Fasher, saying they had withdrawn to a safer location. The rapid
Isn't that
support
Arabic? Isn't that Arabic for the flasher?
no. the
So
rapid
some Arabic went around with a dirty Mac on and nothing underneath.
the rapid support forces, a paramilitary group accused of genocide, claimed Sunday that they had captured the city after overrunning the army's base following an 18-month siege. The deployment has sparked fears of ethnic cleansing and raised concerns that the Sudanese brutal civil war raging since 2023 could ultimately fracture the country. Okay, for the
Ethnic cleansing is that where you get people of like a certain yeah racial and cultural origin and you force them to go to the baths.
no, that what they're talking about true ethnic cleansing.
I know,
All right, they're talking about if
getting
you
rid.
if
Yeah, I
you're
know.
if you're black, you get shot. Okay, this is the,
Sudan, they're all black.
no, they're not because the other ones are Arabs. All right, 70% of the region is ethnic Arab and Bedouin. All right, 30%.
You sure? That
Yes,
sounds more like Egypt.
it well, obviously Sudan in the north borders Egypt. All right, in the south you have, of course, you know, African tribes. Then the tribes are black, and the Arabs, because of for whatever reason, have decided that
Why
they're
do you
going
keep
to
whistling?
exterminate. I'm not whistling.
Every so often I hear a whistle from your mic.
I don't know why. I'm not
It
whistling.
could be on my end. I'm open to that, but
Could be
it's
me.
still there.
It could be me trying to sit up there in sniffles because I do have a bit of the sniffles, so it might be just a sniffle.
Uh,
But
you're sitting on the ISS again, aren't you?
not exactly. But the question the thing is this is now just flat out you were these people they talk about, well, what's a genocide? Well, you're gonna watch one, a real one, because that's what's gonna happen,
Genocide's where you attempt genocide's where you attempt to obliterate an entire race from the face of the earth.
and that's what they're gonna do. That's what these Arabs are
Yeah.
gonna do.
These days, people in the West seem to think of genocides where, might kill a few people and make the other ones leave.
Yes,
That's not a genocide.
no, I agree with you 100%. But it's horrible. It is really horrible what's happening in Sudan right now, and no one is doing anything to fix it because what are you going to do?
We've got our own shit to deal with.
Unfortunately, there's a lot of truth to that. Since you're here, I have questions for you on this next story. Catherine Connolly's
I don't
victory.
know. It's Ireland.
Okay, Kathleen Connolly's victory in Ireland marks rebellion against EU's militarism. What EU militarism?
They're trying to. They're trying to create an EU army
Independent candidate.
drawn from all member states,
Okay.
and
Independent.
apparently the UK as well, if Starmer's his way.
Yeah. Independent candidate Catherine Connolly, known for her criticism of NATO expansion and the European Union's growing militarism, won the Irish presidential election on October 25th with 64% of the vote. Her sweeping victory across cities, rural areas, and especially among young voters, all right, marks a decisive rejection of the establishment politicians aligned with Ukraine and NATO policies.
Good for her.
Well, okay, I don't have a problem with that, but
But
does Ireland have any policy that's aligned with the Ukrainians at all?
they're part of the EU, so yes.
I just don't see this.
I mean, we're on about the Republic of Ireland here, right?
Yeah.
They're part of the EU,
I,
and they're usually in lockstep with the EU. So yes, they've got policies. I mean, apparently the entire Irish, the entire Republic of Ireland's military is in readiness.
oh,
All 5 of them and his dog.
all right. The I mean, this woman is saying that the EU has lost its moral compass. It never had one.
The EU never had one.
Okay.
Jinx.
All right. According to Connolly, the European leaders are guided by double standards, condemning Russian aggression while turning a blind eye to that of the United States, the UK, and France. Well, first of all, if you think the United States is being
There you
aggressive,
whistled.
if you think that the United States is being aggressive, you're out of your flipping mind.
We're not being aggressive either.
Okay. The only even France hasn't been aggressive or anything.
No, Donald Trump saying, you're doing bad shit there. The French are waving baguettes in dismay, and and Keir Starmer's running around trying to please everybody.
Well, Starmer is. How close are you guys? Just as a question. That has nothing to do with the story today. How close are you
to what?
To having new elections for entire parliamentary breakdown and new elections happening?
Officially, I think it's another 3 years.
Well, right.
Maybe it's 4.
That's your scheduled time. Do you see a possibility of snap elections being called at all?
No, because the Labour Party will hang on to power for dear life, pulling whatever dirty tricks they can.
Okay, I'm just curious because there are times when I look at.
If there was,
go ahead. Sorry.
I get the impression if there was a snap election, Labour would get absolutely obliterated. But I get the impression that you'd have to have 4 or 5 strong policemen going to 10 Downing Street and drag Keir Starmer out kicking and screaming.
Well, how can he
I'm
have
only
such,
partially joking there.
How can he have such support when he was actually
he doesn't
booed out of Parliament?
He doesn't have support now.
Well, then at some point he's
going
to have to.
Even his own party is gunning for him.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So at some point he's going to have to be removed, right?
Yeah.
So
I mean, you've got our Chancellor, right, Rachel Reeves.
Okay.
Yeah, who's she lied about her qualifications. She lied about her experience. She lied on her CV or resume to you. She's been caught pretty lying about breaking the rules about renting out her normal home while she's living in 11 Downing Street as the Chancellor. And any sensible fucking Prime Minister would have gotten rid of her long ago. She's incompetent. She can't do the job. She lies about everything.
But she's still there.
Yeah, he's probably waiting for a suitable Muslim to put in a place.
Possibly. I
I
don't.
got David fucking Lammy.
Well, David Lammy
The only
just.
reason he got into university was because of diversity.
Yeah, David
He's
Lammy is
he's
unbelievable.
got less he's got less brains than a fucking a senile rat.
Okay, that's.
Sorry, a senile fucking grasshopper.
I mean, I've listened to him say some things, especially recently, and I'm like, you're out. You're the one who causes all these problems that you're now decrying. I'm like,
Yeah,
I don't understand what you're. Why are you even there?
he's a moron.
He does. Yeah, well, and he doesn't even come across as someone who can listen to things. I heard. Well, and this is going to go back to a thing that I heard. All right, that has nothing to do with the UK or anything else. That's American basketball. All right, in American basketball, we have, of course, LeBron James, and LeBron James twisted arms, for lack of a better term,
Mm.
to get the LA Lakers to put his son, okay, Bronny James. Why you would name your kid Bronny, I don't know. Okay, Bronny James, all right, on the team.
So
Okay,
his son's a brony.
so I'm just saying this. Now,
You know what a brony is, don't you?
not exactly, no.
You know that My Little Pony.
Oh my God.
A boy or a man who likes My Little Pony.
Okay, now I don't think he's a pony favorite. But LeBron James's son is
He's
not good
useless,
enough. No, he's not useless, but he is not good enough to be on Lakers. Now,
and
uh,
he's probably not trying hard enough because of who his dad is.
he tries, but he's not good. The fact is, he doesn't have the skills. Okay, it's he's not as big as his
He
father
probably got
either.
this. Yeah, what you're saying? It sounds like he's probably got the skills. He just hasn't got the native talent.
No, he doesn't have.
I mean,
He doesn't have. You
you can
have to
be
watch him. He
you can be as skillful as you like, right? You can be the most skillful athlete in the world, but if you don't have that native talent in you, you're not going to hit the big leagues.
Yeah, that's not the problem here. Okay, if you're skilled in basketball, you can at least make baskets. Okay,
Don't tell me he's sitting there doing macrame,
his average
basket weaving.
his average shooting percentage, all right, is in the low single digits. Okay,
Yeah, I know.
and he's
Yeah,
and we're talking
He's so
about
bad.
uh, and that includes free throws.
Yeah, he's so. What you're saying is he's so bad. He could make baskets if you paid him up for a course in wickerwork classes.
Right. Even in college, he was not good. But my point here isn't that. My point is there were some people complaining about his inability to shoot baskets and so forth. And of course, LeBron is trying to defend his son, blah blah blah. But nobody cares about that. But one of the guys announcers said he should just quit basketball because he's a he's a good kid. He's really bright. He's really on this, and I'm like,
Oh
really
God, do you know what this
bright.
sounds like?
He goes. You've seen
Do you
the
know what this
interviews.
sounds like?
Hold on. No, he goes. You've seen interviews with him, and I've seen interviews with LeBron James' son Bronny, right? And the fact is he doesn't come across as anything more.
An arrogant arsehole.
Well, no. Believe it or not, he's not
No,
an
you're saying
asshole.
he doesn't come across as an arrogant arsehole, is what you're saying.
Right, but that's it. He doesn't come across as very erudite or smart or anything else. He just comes across as an average kind of a guy, which is fine. All right, except for the fact that you're stuck in a world where he lives in a fantasy land of riches. Let's be honest. All right,
You know
but
what?
for them,
You know what?
but for
It
this guy
sounds.
to say,
Hold on. You know what it sounds like to me?
What?
It sounds like he's doing this to please his father, not because he wants to.
I think he's just doing it because it was the easiest path for him, and he doesn't have any. He does not have any desire really. All right.
Yeah, that's
Aside from
basically what I
playing
just said.
video games, he wants to be a somebody who just plays video games for the rest of his life and hang out with his buddies. He's not he's not
So,
exceptionally brilliant or anything else.
hold on a minute. You're saying he wants to be me?
Well, in a way, yeah. If that's but you did not have the same intensity. You lack of intensity, right? He doesn't have any real. He doesn't have any goals going on, right? And he has no. There's nothing he's really pushing to try and excel in. And for somebody to say what got me wasn't so much him. I don't have a problem with him. I have a problem with somebody saying, "Well, he's really bright. He's really he's really smart, and all these other things." And I'm like, just look at his interviews, and I've seen the interviews, and I'm like, he doesn't come across as someone that's bright. He doesn't come across as someone who's even driven, all right, to succeed. He comes across as somebody who's, I'm rich, I know it, all right, I'm not going to be a jerk about it, but I don't have to, I'll just do, play my way through the world. That's just what his goal is, you know. All right, let's get to the next
When
story,
you
shall
know,
we?
you know.
We spent too much on this. I apologize for the sidetrack there.
The one person who's watching, which is me.
That's okay. Japan rolls back rice output expansion. Right, sets 2026 target based on demand.
Get it right. Get it right. It's Japan rolls back rice
No,
expansion,
Japan's farm ministry said Friday
and you've
it
got to say
would
it in an angry voice.
it would set its rice production target for 2026
Rice production.
at 7.11 million tons, in line with the maximum estimated demand, marking a shift away from the previous administration's policy of expanding production to ease price pressure. Um,
Rice pleasure.
what you're saying is Japan is in total control of its farming economy.
Yeah,
All right, where it's
that
centralized
that that
farming.
that that's a desirable goal.
No, it's not. Not for the
Well, being in
government.
total control of.
Not for the centralized control of the farming output.
Oh yeah, that no. But Japan itself, as a country, being
Yeah. Oh,
total control of its farming.
I get that. I get that part. But the fact is you're demanding a lowering, a lack of rice production. All right, and insisting on a lack of rice production for the one staple crop that you can't even make enough of. All right, because you're not self sufficient in food.
Mm.
And you did this when one thing that happened in Japan, most people didn't realize this, but the people in Japan were outraged because the cost of rice skyrocketed. And the
Right, and
reason
they've
it
also got another
skyrocketed,
problem.
is they refused, all right, to buy American rice.
Yeah,
They
they've got another problem in Japan when it comes to rice. The farms around Hiroshima and Nagasaki, every so often they've got to fight off the rice monsters that grow.
they, they do not. It's the thing is they're they're trying to artificially or centralize manage their farming industries, and that's not going to work for the farmers. It's going to fail in the end. It's unfortunate, but it's going to fail. Feature: Japanese child sex tourist contributing to lost generation of girls in Laos.
That's
Behind
what
one
happens when you let them read too much anime and manga.
Behind one door, a room resembling an elementary school classroom is filled with girls, some perhaps as young as 10. An investigation by Kyoto News has found that 4 men, including Japanese nationals, are among those who frequent such places for sex. The child sex
Yeah, it's
trade has
frightening.
become a pressing concern in Laos, where underground compounds operate discreetly but openly enough to be found through social media or word of mouth. Multiple establishments were identified in the Vientiane, all right, serving clients from China, South Korea, and Japan. All right, child sex trafficking is completely out of control. All right,
Yeah,
and the
worldwide.
exactly worldwide, and I'm not excluding the United States. We have a serious problem here with this crap. All right, now I get that we have, our cultures have changed over time. I get that. All right, the view of who's a young person, who's not a young person, who's an adult, who isn't an adult, that has changed over time. I get it. Okay,
But not that much.
but a child is a child. A 10-year-old is a
Yes?
freaking 10-year-old. Nobody, even 20 years ago, 30 years ago, or even 100 years ago, thought a 10-year-old was an adult.
Nope.
And this kind of crap needs to frickin' be rooted out and gotten rid of.
And beaten to death. Yeah,
People
you'll
need
not
to get.
find many people who disagree with you.
I the, look. If you want to talk about a teenager or a young adult, in my opinion, and when I say teenager, I'm talking 16 and above. That's my view. Right? Are you dumb as a teenager? Yes. Are you able to know the difference between right and wrong, though? Yes. That's a reality.
Yep.
And to excuse
This
this
is
kind
me.
of behavior, it's out of control.
Yeah, this is me arguing against what you just said.
Okay, you better not argue. Okay, so if it's one thing, it's and I'm not saying that it's not disgusting. If a 17-year-old girl is sleeping with a 30-year-old man, I find that disgusting. Period. I don't find it illegal necessarily, but I find it disgusting. The reason is she has made a conscious decision, right? And we're not talking about rape here, folks. And I'm not worried about the quote unquote power dynamics that people talk about, right? Now, I do believe that if someone is doing quid pro quo, that's illegal, okay? But we're not talking about those situations. But there's a huge difference between being 17 and 10 or 11 or even 12 or even 13, okay? There's a huge difference. And these poor girls, you know, they're being sold into this slavery and to this sex
Mm-hmm.
trafficking by their parents. And the sad part is it's been around for a long time, but this crap needs to end. It flat out needs to end. And if it's that open in Laos, you can imagine what it's like in other places. Cruise passenger 80 found dead after being abandoned on the Great Barrier Reef Island. What was this? Walk the plank? Just wondering here. Melbourne, Australia.
That's the last time.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I bet that's the last time she ever thinks about making fun of the chef on the ship.
Melbourne, Australia. An 80-year-old
What?
cruise passenger was found dead on the Great Barrier Reef Island a day after she was accidentally abandoned there by the ship's crew. I'm sorry.
Oh,
How are you accidentally abandoned?
oh God! You know what's happened? It's one of these island stops, right? It's like an island on the Barrier Reef, and the cruise ship visits it. Some of the passengers, if they're interested, They'll be ferried ashore, have a look around the island, get back to the ship. Yeah, get back to the boat, the launch or whatever. Get back to the ship and off to go. She probably got distracted by something.
Passenger's daughter, Catherine Reese, on Thursday accused the cruise company Coral Expeditions of a failure of care and common sense that left her mother, Suzanne Reese, die alone. Suzanne Reese, a Sydney resident, was on the second day of a cruise circumnavigating Australia when she disembarked from the Coral Adventurer last Saturday at Lizard Island. She planned to hike with other passengers to a mountain lookout. The ship left the resort island around 5 hours before reporting her missing late on Saturday. We are shocked and saddened that the Coral Adventurer left Lizard Island after an organized excursion without my mum, said Catherine Reeves, who also lives in Sydney, and said in a statement, "Okay, is it just me, or do you are you supposed to count heads? We came in with 15, we leave with 15. Isn't that how you normally do things?"
There's some castaway who's been living on the island, saw his chance, pushed her into a cave and took her place.
I'm kind of wondering here because something's wrong. All right.
You think?
I mean, I got a little bit of a question here myself. I don't think the daughter of this poor woman is wrong about this issue. If I mean, we're not talking, all right, college math here. All right, we're talking
Yeah,
elementary.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah.
We're talking Sesame Street skills are all that's necessary. All right. I'm just pointing this out that this is a bit above an oopsie. Accidentally my ass. I'm just saying that. I mean, negligent. It may be. All right, but this. Come on. This looks intentional. This has an intentionality to it. Emma Thompson. Oh, excuse me. Let me put this up here. Emma Thompson's not safe for work rant is just what the AI boom needed. Oh, really? By Jason Bailey. Jason, you're an idiot. Emma Thompson is very good at many things. Acting. What has Emma Thompson been good at acting
Oh.
in? Okay, I'm just kind of wondering. All right, screenwriting, penning children's books, and in recent years, she's become quite accomplished at going viral. She did it again, all right, this week during an appearance on the late night show with Stephen Colbert with a furious and furiously funny profanity laced dismissal of increasingly inescapable scourge of generative artificial intelligence. She wasn't talking about the high end use of AI in filmmaking. Her irritation stemmed from the first attempt of the process, transferring her writing, done in longhand, into a Word document. With a flurry of F bombs and mounting exasperation, she described how tired she is of the software asking if she'd like to rewrite the work.
God, first world problem.
My God, woman! We all are annoyed with autocorrect on the phones and shit, right? So
I
it's
don't
not
use
that
it.
you can turn that shit off though.
Yeah,
So
I
turn
don't
it
use
off,
it.
you stupid bint. Good God! Oh, I write in longhand and then I put in this. Give it to your frickin' or hire a teenager, all right, to transcribe it for you, to actually move from one format to the next, or better yet, all right, scan it because there's software that does this now. Scan it and then automatically generate it that way. Am I missing something?
Not as far as I know, no.
Okay, enough with around the world. Now we're going to just deal with the U.S. problems for a little bit. Uncertainty over federal
I'm
food
going to
aid.
go and
Go
I'm
ahead.
gonna go and make myself a cup of tea.
Okay, uncertainty over federal food aid deepens as the shutdown fight reaches a crisis point. From Stephen Groves, Ali Svensson, and Susan Hay, the crisis at the heart of the government shutdown fight in Washington were coming to a head Saturday as the federal food assistance program faced delays and millions of Americans were set to see a dramatic rise in their health insurance bills, which they're still set to see, regardless of what gets done, a dramatic rise in their insurance bills. The impacts on basic needs, food, and medical care underscored how the impasse is hitting homes across the United States. Plans by the Trump administration to freeze payments to the SNAP program on Saturday were halted by federal judges, but the delays in payouts are still likely to leave millions of people short on their grocery bills. Okay, during the 4 years of the Biden administration, SNAP went from 20 million people to 40 million people on the program. And yet, there were no supposed changes to the program. So please explain how 40 million people ended up on SNAP at the end of his term. Now, you can claim that the rise was initially due to COVID and the lockdowns. Okay? I can give you that. But it should have gone back down again. And it didn't. So when people talk about SNAP and the people that are getting SNAP, it's an overused program. And it's supposed to be managed state by state. The problem now has come about where there are people on SNAP that don't belong on SNAP, number one, and also because the government shut down. But it is more the Democrats who prioritize, we have to save Obamacare. Okay. Look at the rise in payments. This is going to happen because Obamacare was set to expire. Well, why did you do it to accept to expire? Why did you set it so that it had a sunset in it? I can tell you why they did that. Because they were lying to people about how much it was going to cost. When people on the right were trying to point out that Obamacare, before it went through Congress, wasn't going to achieve things, they ran it through their what's called the budget office. The budget office came back with OMB and said, "Here's what it's going to cost." And they said, "Oh, no. Well, we're going to tweak it this way and tweak it that way. That way, OMB can come back and say, oh, it won't cost as much, and we can continue to lie to you." And everybody saw it, and everybody knew it, including Stephen Groves, Ali Svensson, and Susan High. Or Hay, however you say her freaking name. So you're bitching about now what's going to happen is all these people are going to get whacked when the solution to this is end Obamacare. Because if you're bitching about premiums, all right, and the cost of premiums going up, it's funny how you didn't care about the cost of premiums tripling after the passage of freaking Obamacare. Oh, this is a concern of yours, Susan? This is a concern of yours, Steve? Allie? These are the concerns of yours? Bullshit! The government shutdown right now is over the Democrats saying we need to show that we're stopping Trump. They don't give a shit how many people get harmed, and it's easy enough to do because they would continue. All they have to do is pass the continuing resolution to fund the government, and the SNAP and everything else will be taken care of. But they're going to let people who actually truly do need it. There are people who truly do need SNAP. They're going to let those people starve. That's their intention. They're going to let those people starve because their priority is a win against Trump. Period. Not health care premiums. Because the poorest on Obamacare don't even pay that. Oh, we kind of forgot about that, didn't we? It's bullshit. Always has been. Always has been. On to the next story. Alabama police get revenge on high school seniors who covered the headquarters with toilet paper. We don't want to hear any crying. An Alabama police force playfully exacted revenge against a group of high schoolers who had covered their department headquarters along with the rest of the town with toilet paper as part of an elaborate senior prank. Heflin Police Chief Ross McClellan vowed to get back at the class of 2026 when students launched their overnight teepee attack across the small Alabama town. The police department's main building was dressed with rolls of toilet paper that covered the entrance, squad cars, and the roof. It was just fun, the student leaders told CBS News on Friday. Adrenaline rush. Then you don't get caught, and it's like, this is fantastic. Instead of arresting the underage pranksters, McLaughlin formed a special task force for an extravagant tactical operation in the city 75 miles west of Atlanta, Georgia. Dear school kids of Claiborne County, McLaughlin wrote on Facebook, we think that rolling the police department was a little uncalled for. But as we enter into Halloween season, we don't want to hear any crying when we load up like we were going to serve a search warrant and go full tactical ninja style, old school rolling at your place. He warned the youngsters that they had messed with the wrong people because his department is made up of many personnel who grew up pulling the same pranks. We know who you are, and while you just put the PlayStation controller down for a week, we are children of the 80s and the 90s who perfected this craft years ago. McLaughlin used his initial warning to deceive the kids about when the revenge attack would be carried out. The whole time, the class of 2026, all right, expected a retaliation on Halloween night. I let them believe that. I learned early in my career that in a tactical situation, three things must be accomplished for success: speed, surprise, and violence of action. The Halfland Police, with the help of community members and other law enforcement agencies, launched a revenge attack under the cover of darkness on October 29th. Old school rules were in place. We would park down the road and approach the target on foot. Most importantly, it was every man for themselves. Stragglers get left and have to make their own way back on their own. It never fails that rule gets enacted in a rolling endeavor. They targeted homes of several students with the permission of their parents. Drone footage captured toilet paper rolls being flung over houses and covering trees with white tissue. So basically, the police TP'd the entire neighborhoods and these kids lived in back. Oh, I wish we had time like this in the past. It's good to see that there are people who are willing to, you know, live up to Halloween the way it was meant to be. Right? It took it in the manner in which it was created. uh, or supposed to be created for fun, for enjoyment for everyone. Right now, the DP attack was, there are going to be people, all right, when the next toilet paper crisis happens, that come back to this going, oh, I wish I hadn't thrown the toilet paper close to there. Just, just pointing this out. Just pointing this out, folks. In a more serious attempt, FBI thwart potential Halloween weekend terror attack in Michigan. The FBI has thwarted a potential Halloween weekend terrorist attack in Michigan, according to FBI Director Kash Patel. Multiple suspects have been arrested after allegedly plotting a violent attack over Halloween weekend, Patel said Friday on social media. Patel said the plot was connected to international terrorism. Surprise, surprise. The FBI took action after undercover operations monitored online communications from a number of suspects in a chat group. Sources told ABC News the alleged plot involved firearms and could be tied to a foreign national terrorist organization, law enforcement officials said. Suspects were engaged in firearms training, and law enforcement decided to take action after the suspects mentioned Pumpkin Day, which investigators believe was a reference to Halloween. The suspects' ages range from 16 to 20, according to the newspaper. At least two people have been arrested and three have been taken in for questioning. White House Senior Director for Counterterrorism Seb Gorka said the authorities stopped the jihadi terror plot in Detroit. The alleged attack was timed for Halloween when innocent children should be enjoying themselves trick or treating. A spokesperson for FBI Detroit field office confirmed there was law enforcement activity in Dearborn and Inkster
Oh,
on
wow.
Friday.
Dearborn. That's where that guy says, do not look at him. Look at me. I am the man now.
Basically, yes. Okay. Basically, what you had were jihadis in
Yep.
Dearbornistan, as we refer to it. All right.
Yeah, I mean, that guy who's the mayor there now, he looks exactly like that fucking pirate on that viral video.
Well, that's the thing. Hey, I got another question for you because I keep seeing these freaking stories and stuff about Heidi Klum and her Halloween party.
Know nothing about it.
Apparently,
Who's Heidi Klum?
she was one of the those models that was on Sports Illustrated and some of these risque supermodels.
Right.
Um,
Lost interest already.
well, but the thing that gets me is I see these stories not just in this paper or that paper, but all across there was stories about this, and I'm like, who gives a shit? Okay,
Well, I don't.
I don't either. You want to scare people? Show up with an ice costume. Speaking of ice, immigration agent pointed a gun at a bystander before beating the man's head into the pavement.
It's nice.
All right. Immigration agent was caught on camera appearing to point a handgun at bystanders before slamming a man's head into the tarmac. An incident happened in Evanston, Illinois on Friday was filmed by concerned witnesses. Yeah, sure. All right, the man can be heard telling agents he can't breathe. As the agent appears to strike the man, outrage can be heard from the witnesses nearby, with one of them heard asking, "Why did you do that, man?" I don't know. Maybe because he was refusing to do what he was told to do. I have said this, and I'm going to say this again. You don't have the right to ignore a police order. Now, you can say that order is illegal or anything else, all you want. But arguing with the policeman at that point in time is going to get your head caved in. You take that up in the courts. You hold people accountable that way. You don't escalate the situation because when it comes to the use of force, the police are going to use overwhelming force. They have to. Because unlike what a lot of these idiots think, where they think, oh, the
Why
police
does
are
that?
just there for law enforcement and all this other crap, the primary purpose of police is to establish and maintain order, not to worry
Why does
about
that
your
sound like
rights.
an Arab? Why does that sound like an Arab superhero? Use of force.
Use of force, okay. Um, Now you can say that this was excessive. You can say all these things that you want. But I can tell you right now, the likelihood of you getting any of that passed at this point in time is going downhill because people are finally getting to the point where they're being honest about who these people are and what they're doing and what it takes. It's taking time for people to realize and come back to the conclusion that, well, maybe I don't have the right to sit up there and piss off the police, right? And do whatever I want and still be safe. God, these people they just piss me off.
You can't tell. You hide it really well.
I bet I do.
What the fuck?
Woman admits to booty call arson attack. A New Jersey woman has pled guilty to a 4 a.m. torching of a man's home after he fell asleep inside and stood her up on a booty call record show. Taja Russell, 35, copped to an aggravated arson, a second-degree felony, in a plea deal. Prosecutors have agreed to recommend an
And she's
8-year
one of
prison term,
the usual suspects.
of which Russell will be statutorily required to serve at least 85%, or more than 6.5 years. Russell was indicted on 5 other charges, including attempted murder, aggravated assault. As part of the plea deal, prosecutors will
A question
move
for
to
you:
dismiss those counts when she's sentenced in January. Go
if
ahead.
she'd been a guy and done that to a woman, do you think she would have just gotten 8 years?
Probably not.
She would have
As
probably gotten about 4 times as much.
Probably. Well, first of all, they wouldn't have dropped the attempted murder charges. Okay,
No,
as
it
detailed
wouldn't be attempted. Yeah,
as detailed in the court records, Russell, seen below, had traveled to the Woodbury home of the victim, Curtis Stokes, who told cops he invited the defendant to his residence to have sex. Stokes added that Russell was a side chick with whom he had been having sex. In other words, Curtis is a dirtbag, and she volunteered to sleep with the
she's a
dirtbag.
dirtbag as well.
The pair's pre-dawn communication had consisted of Russell texting Stokes hello, to which he responded romantically, "Bring ya ass." But by the time Russell arrived, Stokes had fallen asleep and did not respond to her at the door. Incensed, she sent a text complaining that "you wasted my money to come out here." Receiving no reply, Russell then texted a series of threats. "You smoked. I see you want to die. I swear to God, I hope you die." She then went to a Conoco gas station, purchased lighter fluid, matches, and a cigarette lighter. She returned to Stokes' home and set a fire outside the rear of the apartment's sole entrance or exit. Stokes told police that he awoke to the smell of smoke and was unable to leave via the door as the fire was too intense. Stokes, who suffered first and second degree burns, forcibly removed an entire window frame to escape. He was wearing only a t-shirt and was covered head to toe with soot and ash as he ran to a nearby police headquarters to report the blaze. He was later treated at a local hospital for burns and smoke inhalation.
Yeah.
You know what's different about this story? It wasn't Florida.
Yeah, that was why I said, oh well, my guess was wrong.
Just saying. Just saying.
What the hairy fuck?
Okay, yeah, this is a good like story. A solid gold toilet is up for auction with a $10 million starting price. Sotheby's has announced it will auction a solid gold toilet, a sculpture by Italian artist Maurizio Catlan called America. Okay,
Ooh.
for sale, the world's most valuable toilet, a lavatory literally worth its weight in gold. Sotheby's announced Friday that it will auction off a solid gold cistern, a sculpture by Italian artist Maurizio Catlan entitled America. The auction house calls it an incisive commentary on the collision of artistic production and commodity value. It's a fully functional toilet intended to one
Identical to
identical. I'm
one
sorry,
that
I said
was
intended. Right, identical to one that gained golden fame when it was stolen in an audacious heist from England's Blenheim Blenheim
Blenheim,
Palace in
Blenheim,
Blenheim
Blenheim.
Palace. Okay, Blenheim Palace in 2019. The starting
I
price,
wish Jensen was here just for that.
the starting price at the auction in New York will be priced over just over 101.2 kilograms, 223 pounds of gold used to make it, and is currently about $10 million. Um, why is it that these things are so damn popular? And how can somebody
Because
talk
people are
to
so
me
damn
about how
stupid.
great this guy's an artist? And I'm going to be real blunt. How is this guy a great
No,
artist when all he's doing is copying what's been done how many times in history? I mean,
I got no answer to that. I think the more money people get, the less intelligent they become.
you know, this guy is the same jackass who stood up there and gained fame because he taped a freaking banana to a white canvas.
Yeah,
Okay, and you're telling me this guy's an artist? Really? Show me some art, because this isn't it. It's not.
it's just ludicrously expensive plumbing.
It's ridiculous. And I just don't understand
You're getting
people.
no argument from me.
I, if it was done for the first time. Okay.
Even then, it's
It
just copying a fucking toilet.
well, but I can see if you're trying to do something unique for the first time. But there's nothing unique about literally nothing unique about this. Nothing about it is
No,
unique.
even if you've done it in gold for the first time, there's nothing unique about it. It's just a fucking toilet. It's just a ridiculously expensive one.
Yeah. It's just dumb.
I know you want to play the video. Go on, play the video. I'll tell
No,
you.
I am not playing the video. Andrew Cuomo, Curtis Sliwa are at closing the gap on socialist Zorhan Mandani in the latest New York City mayoral election poll. Radical socialist, why don't you just say communist Marxist, all right? Zorhan Mandani, all right, lead over Andrew Cuomo has dropped to just 6.6 points in the new shocking poll in the mayor's race, giving him the smallest edge that he has held in any survey since July. A new Atlas survey or Intel survey has Mandami leading the field with 40.6%, but by a far narrower margin than he has in any of the other recent polls. it has the
Why
former
does
New
he?
York governor, who is running as an independent, climbing by leaps and bounds to 34%. Go ahead.
Why does he look like the former Scottish First Minister, Humdrum Useless? I mean, Humsy Useless.
Because he's exactly like that. Now, why is he dropping in the polls? All right. Well, first of all, in America, if anybody's ever noticed anything, all polls show a closing race. Okay. As you get closer to the polls, it's almost a virtual guarantee that people will show that the the race between the two individuals is closing, getting closer. Significantly or not, that's what will always happen in the press. The press will always say that. Right? And generally, it is you end up with a closer race than what people, were what some of the polling things were always saying. And the main reason for that is they always overpoll, all right, early on, they always overpoll the Marxists, all right, to create the impression of
That they're in the lead
right
and popular.
right that they're popular and of a popularity contest. And as the polls close, they start to lose that lead. Now, I'm not saying Mondami is going to lose because I don't think he will. Right, and he's going to be everything the New Yorkers, all right, have asked for. Okay, and he's going to destroy New York, and it won't take long because
Spider-Man will stop him.
the buffering nature of money is gone now.
Dude, Spider-Man will stop him.
No, Spider-Man's not going to stop shit. Okay, and so when they elect this jackass, okay, they're going to get exactly what they voted for, and I'm just going to shrug my shoulders. I know a lot of people are like, well, that's bad for America. No, it's not. It's necessary. It's necessary for these clowns, all right, to really get what they want. These right now, the people who are there are people who are now trying to stop this. All right, they're doing whatever they can to stop it. They're demanding Silwa step out of the race. Why would Silwa step out of the race? He's the only Republican. Okay, Cuomo, like they said, is an independent. Now Silwa is got very little chance of winning. I grant you that. Okay, but from a political standpoint, he's putting himself in a better position, all right, for another run later on. That's what he's doing. Cuomo, everyone talking about how they're going to vote for Cuomo, they're going to vote for Cuomo, they're going to hold their nose and vote for Cuomo, right, to stop Mandani. They've lost. They've already lost. The Marxists have taken over the Democrat Party. They're in charge of it. That's why we're having the shutdown. That's why we're having all these other issues right now. It's because the Marxists are in total control of the Democrats, and they have been for years. Don't try to to think otherwise. Go ahead. You were going to say something?
Probably decades.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And so look, it is what it is. When we elected Obama, we
Worst thing
elected.
is,
There's no difference between in what's going to happen. There's no difference when we elected Obama. Obama is just like this guy. Okay.
worst thing is, it's not the politicians that you've got to worry about being infected with the Marxism. It's the people who are actually running the country, the civil servants.
Well, that in and of itself is a problem in America. I can't disagree with you there either.
It's a problem all over the fucking West.
You know. All right, let's go to a different story before we get into the two animal stories that I have. Alaska tops list of America's most stressed states. You have got to be flipping kidding me. You got to be
It's
kidding me.
because they can see Russia from the houses.
Massachusetts leads the way when it comes to lowest levels of stress in 2025. Drive around Boston for one day and tell me that this is an accurate assessment. I can't wait to see what they used, right, to come up with what's a stress.
Gated communities. Oh God, no! I know what they did in Massachusetts. They pulled the Amish.
Okay. It starts with driven by the nation's highest suicide rate, 28.15 per 100,000, sky high living costs, 25% the national average, and harsh isolation that limits access to health care and other legal resources. That's what you're using? All right. First of all, they're saying that it has a higher suicide rate. Okay. Um, I, I suspect that it probably isn't as high as you think it is.
Going out to clear snow from your car and getting attacked by a polar bear is not suicide.
Well, it might be in Alaska. All right. Massachusetts residents experience the lowest stress levels in the country with the best safety rating, lowest suicide rate, 8.58 per 100,000. Strong access to mental health and legal services despite the highest cost of living.
And the Bee Gees keep turning up.
Personal injury lawyers report the state's stress levels directly correlate to accident and injury claims. Uh, no, they don't. Okay, when you're talking about stress, and I'm not saying that living alone. First of all, to say that living alone, like many Alaskan residents do, is it a type of stress? It's a type of stress that they have to deal with people at all. Many people like living alone. It's not stress to them. Now,
Yeah,
one thing that does cause higher suicide rates, this is a reality, is lack of sunlight. For 6 months out of the year, okay, they don't see the sun doesn't come up,
I think it's 3 months.
right? Well, 3 months, right? We'll go three. You're
Yeah,
right.
and generally in those 3 months, you get a lot of people leaving places like Alaska for places where they have like days and nights.
Well, that is also true. All right, but you also have a lot of people will end up with higher amounts of suicide. This is why the Swedish countries, the Norwegian countries, like Finland and so forth, have what they consider abnormally high rates of suicide. Now, I think that one of the problems that they have with the assumption of suicide in these countries.
Like the Scandinavian countries have a higher rate of suicides because ABBA broke up.
I don't think that that's it, but I do think that many of the supposed deaths, suicide deaths, I suspect are not necessarily suicide per se. I think that they're murders. All right. It's
Yeah.
hard to say. All right. Because it's harder than people realize to prove a murder. And when you're talking about isolated communities, somebody is found with a gunshot wound and a pistol in their hand, right? How do you prove it wasn't suicide?
Shot himself in the back, did he? Right.
Well, obviously there's things for that. But my point is basically if he gets shot in the front and somebody puts a gun in his hand, how are you going to know? You're not going to know, especially if there's no other evidence of crime, right? And it's more likely to happen in a place where there's fewer people around, right, than other places. So I suspect that that's also part of it. But to be out there living alone, to living life and everything else, you're going to tell me Massachusetts? I guarantee you, the stress levels in Boston alone, all right, more than make up for just living in Boston alone, more than makes up for this. To say that Massachusetts is the has the lowest levels of stress, go screw yourself.
Right. Usually with these things like study finds, I usually think, yeah, right.
Yeah, so exactly. Final two stories. We'll start with this one.
Oh God.
Aggressive lab monkeys infected with herpes and hepatitis C escaped following a truck crash. A truck full of diseased lab monkeys escaped following the crash. Police are urging residents to stay alert. By the way, they still haven't caught all these monkeys. All right, a truck full of several reportedly diseased lab monkeys crashed on Tuesday morning in Jasper County, Mississippi, and officials are warning residents to stay alert. The rhesus monkeys escaped from their confinement after the truck overturned on Interstate 59, according to Sheriff Randy Johnson. The truck was transporting 21 monkeys to a testing facility in Florida when it crashed near the 117-mile marker just north of Heidelberg. Most of the monkeys have been accounted for, but at least one remains uncontained, said Johnson. Law enforcement and wildlife officials are warning the public do not approach the animals in any way and to contact authority if one is spotted. Okay, there has been other people who have come back and since claimed that no, these were not diseased rhesus monkeys. They were on their way to be diseased, apparently. Um, in
Better be
Missis,
safe than sorry.
well, in Mississippi, there's a lot of swamps and stuff. Obviously, um, it is a very rural state.
Hmm.
Whether these monkeys can survive or not, separate issue.
Oh, you'd be surprised.
All right. Well, the reason I say whether they can survive or not is a separate issue is because do they have, were they just captured and basically been in the wild before and know how to survive in the wild or not? But everything exists in Mississippi for these primates to survive. Okay, it's very possible for monkeys to survive in this region, right? Without because the weather isn't they don't have severe cold, right? And it is a swamp area, so there's food around for them to eat as long as they can find it, right? So,
Hey, there's food in the towns and cities for them to eat. Rhesus monkeys are the same type you get in India, right?
um, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, and they're pests in India. Yeah, seriously. The basically you have to put monkey traps up to catch the monkeys in the cities because the monkeys are that much of that that bad a pest.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, they can, and the thing is whether or not they're actually diseased or not. Well, authorities have said that 5 of the monkeys were eliminated for safety reasons, so they think they were diseased. Right. So even if somebody is saying that they aren't diseased, I don't know. Final story of the day: Chernobyl.
Oh God!
Dogs in Chernobyl's exclusion zone mysteriously turn blue.
Thanks to photo fucking filters.
Oh my god. A non-profit taking care of dogs in the Ukraine's Chernobyl exclusion zone are trying to solve the mystery of why some of the canines have turned completely blue. Dogs of Chernobyl, which is affiliated with the Clean Futures Fund charity, said workers were trying to trap dogs to be spayed and neutered in Chernobyl area recently when they spotted an unusual colored canines. We are on the ground now catching dogs for sterilization, and we came across 3 dogs that were completely blue, said the Clean Futures Fund, all right, in an Instagram post. We are not exactly sure what's going on. Local residents said
I bet
dogs
it's faked.
had not been blue 1 week earlier. um,
I got
apparent.
the blues.
The approximately 700 dogs living in the Chernobyl exclusion zone are descendants of pets abandoned when the area was evacuated during the nuclear power plant meltdown in 1986. The Clean Future Fund said that the blue color is unlikely to be the result of any radioactivity. Were they glowing? Okay, it's most likely they're getting into some sort of chemical, such as a blue liquid that's leaking from a portable toilet. Uh,
That actually does sound more feasible than it being radiation, because
yes, I agree.
radiation will just kill them.
Um, it will. Whether or not it did or anything in that case, I don't know. I agree with you. Uh, it's probably has more to do with something like that than anything else. Um, simply because you know, if it was, why aren't the other dogs turning blue? Why aren't they showing up as puppies blue? Right.
Yeah.
So most likely
You
they
said
got.
if it was radiation, the only way it's going to turn them blue is if it alters their DNA, and that's not going to show up in the parent. That's going to show up in the pups.
Correct. Correct. So I mean, it's kind of cool
Unless, of
looking.
course, it's cosmic radiation, then the dog might either stretch or turn invisible, burst into flame, or be covered in orange rock-like substances.
Well, if a if a thing dog comes out, like a thing canine comes out, we're in a lot of trouble. Okay, I'm just putting it out there. We could be in a lot of
Hey,
trouble.
if it's a stretching one as well, that's even worse because it'll be the smartest dog in the world.
Well, okay, yeah, that as well. You got a point. You got a point. Well,
And
all
it'll
right,
probably have an
everybody.
enemy. There'll probably be a dog that's its enemy, yeah, which wears a suit of armor and a green fucking hood.
Possibly. All right,
Dog
everybody.
to doom.
That's all I got for today. I hope that you all guys had an enjoyable show, and I will talk to you
I
all
would insult
later.
the people out there, but there isn't any.
All right, bye, bye, everybody.